Hello, my friend. Sailor Moai here again. Gonna try to get back where we were, work on the cockpit and the cross beams, and show you a little something about building one of these things and how really easy it is. But it's not that easy. It's a long process, and you got to get your head right. It takes a long time. Here I'm put the pieces for the cockpit together. I waited till I had the hulls with the beams on and measured it to get the size that I wanted, the width, and the length is 8 feet. So there's not much you can do with that because of the beams. But it's 8 feet and 70 some inches. I can't remember what it was. It ended up being wide, but I elected to put 3 storage bins on either side under the benches there. But I elected to put the motor inside the cockpit. I didn't want to reach over the back trying to get to the engine. And here I was trying to fit up a top and a hard Dodger and top on it. And I knew I wanted something. And I thought about putting a soft Dodger and top, but I really felt like I needed something in case of weather and stuff. They would give you some kind of little spot to hide in if you needed to. The way I done it is I actually just sat in the cockpit and took a measurement of how high my head was, and I started with that and cut the pieces out that I wanted. The look of there's a lot of design and trial and error trying to get it the shape I wanted. And then what I would do is I would take the pieces and cut blocks to hold them in the place I wanted and screw it together with screws. Then go back and epoxy and fillet all of the cracks in between the blocks, then remove the blocks and finish the fillet. And I knew the epoxy is stronger than the wood, so I knew if I got the fillets done in between the blocks, it would hold it together while I finished them up. But yeah, that's the way I did. That way I didn't have to have any massive bracing or frames or anything like that. It's almost just a shell with hardly any bracing at all in it. It's pretty strong and it's very lightweight. That was another reason I did it that way. Anyway, but it works good using those blocks to hold the shape while you're doing it. Here's a thing that I found. I should have put it in the last video. Flipping those hulls, and one time I done it by myself, which you'll see here shortly that's probably not a good idea. I mean, I did it, but with 2 people you can spin that thing right around like it ain't nothing, and one person can do it. It's possible, but just watch this for a minute and you'll see what I mean. You'll see here in a second or two that kind of run out of ideas. And I was trying to figure out how I was going to get this thing all the way over by myself, and everybody's at work and whatnot, and I was out there by myself. I had to get it done. I needed to get it done, wanted to get it done. So here it is, and I got tickled watching this back. Yep, it's time to take your jacket off and get serious. Give you an idea of what this boat weighs when it's finished. I'm 64 years old in this uh, picture here, and I was flipping that hull by myself. Those places right there, that's the two um, bulkheads that go all the way through, all the way to the top of the cabin. And the other two just stop at the top of the decks. So there are some, that's the ones I extended so I could have a taller cabin in there.
Not too damn bad for an old man. Sailing on this sea the best I can.
Yeah, I had to go through this thing and sand all of the little spots off. I screw mine together after I get the blocks and everything and start the fillets. I screw it together, and here it is after I got it all together and glued down and everything, and I put it on there for a trial fit. I was surprised it fit really well. It fit really well and dropped it right on there. And I can pick this thing up and move it around by myself. I don't like to, but it is light enough that one person can move that thing around. And set it up there and just see what it looked like on it. And I was pretty satisfied with the look. Then it was on to the fiberglass. Didn't have any footage of the fiberglassing, but it went pretty good. It was flat enough and big enough I could fiberglass it up pretty good, and then did a coat of primer and topside paint. I think I used Total Boat again on all of that stuff. Man, it looks good. Boy, it looked good, brand new. I love it. I love it. So I like that. That white is so clean looking and everything. It turned out really well. I was tickled with my experiment. Now we can start on the beams. The beams were fairly complicated. I didn't realize how many cuts of wood was going to be in each one of them. The finished product looks really simple, but there's like over 70 pieces of wood in each one of those. And I added extra um, gussets inside. I'm like that, especially on the mass beam, the one in back there. I added extras in the middle there. I wanted a really strong mass step, so I put a lot of work into that. But I soaked these things down with epoxy inside and out. I did not want any issues once it was in the water. I wanted years and years of use out of these before I had to do anything. So we really did a big time job on these with epoxy and fiberglass, and a lot of work, a lot of bending. Uh, you can see the slope on the top of those beams and everything, and there's the slope on the front. Um, it's pretty neat the way those things go together. It's much stronger than I anticipated. I wasn't sure about it when I read the size of the wood and stuff that we were using on there. But once you get it together, it's amazing. It's amazing how strong they are. So, yep, that's how we got started. Like I was saying, I went all out on the inside of these beams because I knew once we closed them up, there was no way up to get back in there. So I made sure that these things were right before I ever put them together. And we finally got it all together and got all our stuff where it's supposed to be. And, um, took off for the boatyard and put it all together. So once you get it together, you got to take it apart and get it to where you're going and then put it back together again. So that's what we did and finally got it in the water. That's when the next part of the adventure started, headed down the ICW to all these different spots around the East Coast. Man, we've had a great time on that boat so far. Kids have enjoyed it, wife's enjoyed it. We've just had a great time, and I appreciate everybody's help that helped me out trying to get this thing in the water. And hope to see you out there sometime. Please comment, share, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, help us in any way you can. God bless you, and we'll see you next time.